Euranet Plus Panorama is a weekly review of European news broadcast by our network of EU radio stations.
Welcome back to Euranet Plus Panorama. Discussions are ongoing over member states' nominations for the top EU jobs. The question on everybody's lips, okay, maybe not everybody's, is which person, political group and country will land which job. Each member state gets a commission post in the grand partitioning exercise, but it would probably be fair to say that not all commissioners are equal. Internal market, agriculture and economy are big hitters, for example, while certain others are seen as small fry. The exercise is anything but straightforward. As with anything negotiated in the corridors of Brussels, a delicate balance of political persuasions, nationalities and genders needs to be found. There are also sabres being rattled and deals being done in the bloc's 27 capitals. In Latvia, though, nothing much looks to be changing, with the government throwing its weight behind a third term for Valdis Dombrovskis, the current Trade Commissioner and Commission EVP. PM Evika Silina certainly seems confident that a continuing EVP role for Dombrovskis is in the bag, as our Latvia's radio correspondent reports.
Jāatzīmē, ka ne Baltijā, ne Polijā šāda līmeņa komisārs nav nevienai no
It should be noted that neither the Baltics nor Poland has a commissioner at this level. So, Valdis Dombrovskis, by being appointed to this position for the third time, certainly strengthens the influence of the Baltic states, and therefore the region in the European Union, as well as his own visibility and that of Latvia in general. We have received positive feedback not only from our colleagues in the EU, but also from our international partners, because Dombrovskis has been dealing with Ukraine since 2014, leading on issues relating to its recovery and funding. We unanimously support the nomination of Valdis Dombrovskis.
Vienbalsīgi atbalstīt Valdis Dombrovskis izvirzīšanu.
Next door in Lithuania, President Gitanas Nausėda and Prime Minister Ingrida Šimonytė are at odds over the possible appointment to the commission post of Lithuanian Foreign Minister Gabrielius Landsbergis from the centre-right EPP-affiliated Homeland Union Party. Landsbergis's name has long been in the frame, and Šimonytė backs her colleague for the role. Yet the independent president believes this would only make sense if they were going for the foreign policy chief, which is likely to go to Estonian PM Kaja Kallas. And he has suggested that Landsbergis should see out the last few months of his term as foreign minister instead. No decision can be taken without the president's agreement, but Nausėda has said that there are better candidates for the position. This has stirred up a hornet's nest in Lithuania, with Conservative Party members accusing the president of creating obstacles. For their part, they believe that sending a well-known politician such as Landsbergis is more likely to result in a plum job for Lithuania. Of particular interest, notes our Žinių Radijas correspondent, would be the enlargement or defence portfolios. Paulius Saudargas, a freshly elected MEP and an influential member of Homeland Union, the ruling party, thinks that the nomination of Landsbergis is a no-brainer.
Of course, Plan A, our main option, is Gabrielius Landsbergis. To be honest, I have not heard of any other options from the very beginning. His candidacy has been publicised and discussed for a long time, and he agrees for his name to be put forward. He's not refusing. It seems to me that the government will start this puzzle on that basis, and hopefully it will be successful.
Keen to play a direct hand in keeping their Russian rivals at bay, Poland appears to be vying with Lithuania over the newly created defence portfolio. This is Warsaw's opportunity to strengthen its foothold in the EU institutions, claims the former chair of civic platform Grzegorz Schetyna in an interview with Polski Radio. Schetyna believes that the country's serving foreign minister, Radosław Sikorski, has a good chance of being handed that coveted defence portfolio, as well as being named a Commission Vice President. If so, this would be one more notch on the EPP's bedpost, so to speak.
I think we will receive good news from Brussels. We are in a strong position. Since the elections in October, we have a lot to say, and it's a matter of transforming this into concrete plans and concrete posts for Poland, which we should be able to achieve after this round of negotiations.
In fact, Poland and Lithuania seem to have their eyes on the very same prizes, since Poland could also be interested in the enlargement portfolio. The name of Piotr Serafin, Poland's acting permanent representative to the EU, is being touted in this regard, says Civic Platform Senator Krzysztof Kwiatkowski.
He is someone who is extremely adept at navigating the various environmental, political and, most importantly, substantive contexts in the European institutions. We have two excellent potential candidates, yet there may be other possible candidates too. It all depends on what we manage to negotiate for Poland, which portfolio, which commissioner.
If our small cross-section of candidates is anything of a guide, the EPP looks to be very well represented already. Even Nicolas Schmit, a well-respected S&D member and Luxembourg's current EU Commissioner for Jobs and Social Rights, may have lost his chance to serve a second Commission term. With Schmidt's party no longer in government at home, the new Christian Democrat Liberal coalition has chosen Christoph Hansen, a re-elected MEP from Luxembourg's ruling CSV party, as the country's candidate for commissioner. On the sidelines of Monday's informal EU summit, Luxembourgish Prime Minister Luc Frieden told 100.7 that Nicolas Schmidt's future job prospects were not a factor in his government's decision, and neither should they have been.
All Land an der Europäische Union, auch Lützeburg, proposiert sein Kandidat.
Every country in the European Union, including Luxembourg, is putting forward its candidate. And it is up to the Luxembourgish government and me as head of government, based on the coalition agreements we made last year in November, to propose the member of the European Commission. The election result in Luxembourg was also pretty clear. The CSV came out as the strongest party, both in the national elections and in the European elections, and this gives me a mandate to implement what we agreed in the coalition negotiations.
So, that's one more win for the EPP. If the EPP's Ursula von der Leyen and Roberta Metsola retain the Commission and Parliament presidencies, which looks all but certain, the Socialists have their eye on the top job in the Council. The name in the frame is António Costa, Portugal's former Prime Minister. Although forced to stand down as head of government over a corruption case involving his former right-hand man, he has the support of his successor in going for this post. Historically, this would mean that the High Representative post would then go to the Liberals, hence the name of Estonian PM Kaja Kallas being floated. Yet the right-wing ECR group are currently going head-to-head with Renew in a frantic bid to be the third force in the European Parliament. Italy's Deputy PM Matteo Salvini certainly thinks the ECR's gain in strength should be recognised. He also stresses that Italy, as the third most populous member state, should be given a leading role in the new formation. Milan's Radio 24 reports.
Sicuramente sarebbe curioso che ci fosse.
Surely it would be curious to have the same team with the same programme, with the same vision, as if the vote of hundreds of millions of Europeans had not taken place. I have to say that a commission that comes into being without the active and effective presence of the three main powers, Italy, France and Germany, would be a curious starting point, to say the least.
Una partenza quantomeno curiosa.
Giorgia Meloni, Italian Prime Minister and leader of the ECR group in the European Parliament, is also doing everything in her power to secure a prominent role for Rome going forwards. She is said to be working closely with her other deputy PM, Antonio Tajani, to achieve this. The more moderate Tajani, whose Forza Italia party sits in the EPP group, is a former commissioner. He also held the post of European Parliament President for half a term between 2017 and 2019, so he knows Brussels like the back of his hand. He has appealed to the EPP not to close the door on Meloni and the ECR group when looking to secure a majority in the European Parliament.
In my opinion, there is no problem with Metsola. I am optimistic about von der Leyen. As for the majority, I repeat, I think it is a mistake not to open up to the Conservatives.
To date, the EPP could not have been clearer in its intention to continue the existing triumvirate with the S&D and Renew. But should Meloni get her way and Renew be ditched in favour of an alliance with the ECR, von der Leyen could find herself in a sticky position. Indeed, Meloni could hold her to ransom, give Italy a top job, or jeopardise her own re-inauguration at the Commission helm. Who says there's no drama in the Brussels bubble? Thanks for listening. Join us again next week, same time, same place.